Hi guys. So today I decided to give you a little something new, which I think could be the inspiration for some different future videos if you guys really like it. It also kind of keeps me responsible in the sense that it sort of forces me to spend some amount of time in my sketchbook throughout the week. And it's also strangely low pressure in that I can spend as little or as much time in my sketchbook as I want. I'm not trying to fill a whole page or spread in one sitting, as you will see later on, and I don't want to be in it every day or for one long stretch of time to have content, I don't have to be in it every day or for one long stretch of time to have content for this video, which is really nice. So if you guys enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps out this channel, which in turn helps me out. It also promotes the growth of the community we've started together. And if this is your first video of mine, hi, I go by Chrissy, Christine, or Creatively Chrissy, and welcome to my art channel. Please consider hitting the subscribe button if you want to see more of my videos and if you want to follow along on this artistic journey with me. If you ring the bell, it will notify you every time a new video goes live. Now, I record this video over the course of 3 days during the first week of March, so February 26th to March 4th. I was kind of disappointed in myself for not recording 5 days, but I wasn't in my sketchbook that many days that week. However, I was doing longer sessions, so I think each session I was in my sketchbook was at least 45 minutes long, if not longer. So I definitely have enough footage to edit for this video, and I think in the future that's all I really can provide for you without these types of videos becoming extremely long. I also tend to be a slow drawer, especially when it comes to trying to capture likeness of a reference photo. That takes time for me, and all the drawings in this video that I did were drawn from photos I found on Pinterest, except for 2, which you will see later on. I do draw a pair of eyes at the top of the right page and a singular eye at the bottom. I came across some sketches of eyes and I just really liked the style, so I did try to copy them into my sketchbook. Obviously, I have no intention of saying they are my own or selling them. I merely copied them for practice's sake, and I just want to say I do feel kind of guilty using Pinterest all the time. I watched a video by Little Starner recently where she talks about her issues with using Pinterest and how she did try to deviate and use stock photos as reference. I'll link the video down below and in the top corner for you to check it out, but I think I struggled with the same issues she does with both Pinterest as a reference source and stock photos as a reference source. Pinterest generally is easier when it comes to finding things I like to draw, unfortunately. And anything I draw directly from an image or drawing from Pinterest, I really don't have intentions of claiming as mine or trying to sell them as mine, like my original ideas. If you watch the previous videos where I do use Pinterest images for reference, I explicitly tell you guys that I'm using Pinterest photos for reference. I also hate that there is all this artwork on Pinterest with no links back to the artist who likely spent hours upon hours creating it. The sketch of the eyes that I copied, for example, had no link back to a social media account or a website for the artist. It also did not have any credit given as far as I remember. I could be wrong, so I could also be wrong about the link back. Maybe it did, but I have come across other photos, images that people drew that there is no credit given or links to the artist. I will be linking to a Pinterest board down below so you can see all the photos and that one piece of artwork that was the sketch that I used for this video. But yeah, I don't like that credit isn't always given where it's due. I have no idea in these cases who created this artwork that I now am in love with or want to try copying myself just for, learning purposes. And it's unfortunate because I really liked something about that art, and that would have been, the impetus for me to go and follow someone on a platform and potentially in the future support them in other ways by either buying their work or, just interacting with their posts. But unfortunately, I am most comfortable drawing from reference. And even when that reference is a bit of a challenge for me, it's still enjoyable for me. I find it less enjoyable to draw from my head as much as I want to because it just never translates the way I want it to. And as I said, I find the best references, unfortunately, on Pinterest. It's something I've struggled with, I guess, ethically for a while now. That and the fact that I don't want to draw without reference because I guess I'm just scared of what might be the end result, which is not a good enough reason to not do it. Then at the same time, I'm like worrying, should I be worrying this much about this stuff? And what I mean is the only thing I'm doing that I find really unethical is using a platform where photos and drawings are not always properly credited. However, the same platform on the other hand, is a great tool for many creators in the sense that people post their artwork, photos, recipes, patterns, etc. to Pinterest with links, with credit to themselves because it's their work, and it drives traffic to their business and or social media accounts. And for many, it's a fantastic way of doing that Pinterest helps them out. But at the same time, even though I might be using uncredited photos and rarely drawings as reference, I'm not doing it in such a way that I am benefiting financially off their work. I mean, I guess you could argue in the future if I make videos where I am sketching from a photo or a drawing that I found on Pinterest and YouTube is paying me AdSense for whatever, I'm at that point, then you can maybe argue that I did, but I would still kind of not think of it as me stealing their work in a sense, because I'm not really. I'm simply sharing myself drawing a copy of their work, and I'm still, when I can and where I can, I will in the future be crediting them. But I'm also never going to say, oh, this is my idea, this was my drawing that I did, or this was my concept that I translated onto the page. I'm not going to say that. I'm also not going to say this is a photo I took and it's my reference photo that I am now drawing from. And even if I do give credit where credit's due, I'm still not going to try to sell it. This is purely for me learning to be better at drawing, because I don't always have the luxury of going and meeting all these different people and having them sit and pose for me. That's just not something I necessarily have the luxury of doing. And I know you could say there's stock photos, but I find it very difficult on some of these stock photo sites to find photos that are as good as the ones I find on Pinterest. I don't know why that is. So then I'm like sitting here asking myself, should I really be beating myself up about this if part of what makes it easy for me to open my sketchbook and actually use it is using reference photos and images that I like from Pinterest, purely with the intention of learning? I don't know. I'm trying not to be so hard on myself about it. I mean, if you're drawing people from life, for example, in a cafe or just in public, do you need to go up to those people and be like, hey, are you okay with me doing this? Like, I'm just gonna be sketching you in my sketchbook, to learn how to draw people. Don't plan on selling it really, but it might be shared on the internet. Like, is that something you have to do? I don't see a lot of creators do that, and me personally, I don't think you have to. I mean, if someone was drawing me for the sake of learning how to draw, and I didn't know, I even if I did know, I don't think I'd care. The only thing I would feel is a little self-conscious, but not enough to make me be like, don't do that, So I'm curious about what your guys' thoughts are on this, and I would love for your input in the comments. Would it help if I became more strict about providing links back to the pins at least? Even if those pins don't always credit the original artist or photographer? I don't know if that still helps. That's the problem. And I don't know if I'm contributing to a bigger problem, I guess, by using Pinterest. But I also don't know the alternative. So that would work for me, because even if you go on Tumblr, for example, and you manage to find some reference photos that you like, it's still photos that other people took that aren't always credited. So I don't know. It's just been something that I've stressed about for a while, and it's to a degree I think that isn't healthy for me, which is now making it harder for me to want to be in my sketchbook in a completely different way than the original reason, which is I'm just terrified of how things come out when I put them on a page. I don't like making mistakes, which I've already acknowledged is a problem. Of course, for me, mistakes occur more when I don't have a reference, because it's not like I have a visual library in my head of everything I need to basically craft a realistic face. So, and I don't think I ever will be at that place. I don't want to feel this way, and I don't know whether I should just find my own way of making peace with it, or I don't know, you could tell me, Christine, you're wrong. Everything about this is bad. You should stop. Like, I don't know. I'm just genuinely asking for your guys' opinion. So if we're talking right now, that means you just finished watching Sunday's sketchbook session. So that was Sunday, February 26th. It was about an hour and a half session. I ended up stopping after that. And of course, we only filled one page. I am a very slow drawer, just to say. That's the case. I'm a very slow drawer. So it takes me, I would say, at least an hour on average to do a sketchbook page. Unless I'm doing detailed drawings, then it takes much longer. It is now Tuesday, February 28th, so tomorrow's the start of March. I did not end up drawing yesterday in my sketchbook, and here's why. It was a rough day. I didn't sleep well Sunday night. I'm still going through this period of where I'm not sleeping at all, which I'm not at all, but like the quality of my sleep and the length of my sleep has gone down significantly compared to what I was doing before. So I'm hoping to pull myself out of that soon because I feel so much better when I get a full night's rest of some, quality sleep. And it's doable. It's just I'm still so messed up from working nights. So one bad night can trigger me. But today I am going to spend some time in my sketchbook. It's however long I feel like doing. It's going to be at least 30 minutes, but we'll see how long I want to do after that. And I basically am not upset about not drawing yesterday because, I was in my sketchbook an hour and a half on Sunday. So it's not a big deal that I didn't do at least a half an hour yesterday. But starting tomorrow, it's March. So, and I made it a goal to at least 5 days out of the week be in my sketchbook for 30 minutes. It's really key that I get my 5 days in this week, even though it's technically not fully March. It's a half February, half March week. So I'm gonna get my sketchbook open. I'm gonna clear off my desk a little bit first because I have my work laptop and my regular laptop next to me on the desk. And I think I'm just gonna be doing pencil. Keep it simple, stupid. And I think I'm gonna keep practicing that technique I learned from the Fundamentals of Drawing course, which is basically drawing contour drawings of things. So starting off with straight lines and getting smaller and smaller and more specific, curving them if I have to, because I've really been enjoying that, and I think it has elevated my ability to draw more. So I'll be doing that, but instead of doing it with still lifes, I'm leaning towards doing some faces with it, because I had a lot of fun with the drawing that you just watched with the girl with she had like an afro type hair, but they put it in, they kind of styled it in like to 2 space buns, and then she had like, they kind of crimped parts of it near her face, and it was just a really interesting hairstyle, and because of that I was drawn to her, and so I drew her. But I am going to do Pinterest drawings, and I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. I think having one of these between each day is helpful. I have no idea how long this video is going to be, because I decided it's going to be a week in my sketchbook, so that's what you guys wanted on the poll, 80% of you anyway. So it's probably going to be a long one. Sit tight. I'll do a voiceover in 3, 2, 1. So another thing I wanted to talk to you guys about were my goals for March and how it's going. Last week, meaning the week of March 5th to the 11th, I was really not feeling up to doing much of anything after my 9 to 5. I wanted to relax each and every day once I finished my full-time job, so I did. I made 0 art, spent 0 time in my sketchbook, and I'm not gonna lie, I feel pretty bad about it. However, I think I know where I went wrong. I guess my thought process as well as some of my goals, which is a thing, and I encourage you guys to do the same. Anytime you come short of your goals or are not really happy with how you handled a situation, or maybe even just what I'm going through, which is, you know, going through a whole week without doing any art, and kind of examining that as more of a lesson, like through that kind of lens, instead of, oh, I failed, I suck, like this is not a good thing, I'm terrible, that sort of logic, because you're not helping yourself. It's better to see what maybe your body is telling you, or, you know, analyze it in the sense that, what can I learn from this? So if you've been with me for a bit now, you'll know that I'm still trying to figure out how much time I can dedicate to both social media and art. And sometimes I feel like I can dedicate more time, while other times I'm just not in the correct mental space to do so. And what I'm coming to realize is that I don't really think there is a way to nail that down, at least for me. I feel different each and every day, and it is very hard for me to predict what mood I might be in, especially if life decides to throw a wrench into things. I have no clue what my energy level is going to be, what kind of motivation I'm feeling, and, you know, sometimes you just need a day off. So I think I need to be more flexible with how I'm dedicating my time as well as my goals, and lower my expectations for myself a little bit. With that being said, I am going to be amending a few of my goals for March. If you did not watch my March reset video, it is actually the video I posted last Sunday, so I'll post a link down below. I will also link it up above. Instead of spending at least half an hour per day for 5 days a week in my sketchbook, I am going to make a more flexible goal. Instead, I will be making it so that I spend at least 3 hours a week in my sketchbook. That way it could be broken up into any way I please. I could be, doing an hour on Sunday, and then maybe like just 15 minutes or 30 minutes on a weekday after work. So I think that's more digestible for me, and I think 3 hours is a reasonable time frame, especially because on the weekends I tend to do about an hour and a half in usually one day. So I just think that's a good place to start, and if I have to lower that, I have to lower that. I also do think I will have to unfortunately push my sketchbook tour back a little bit, because I just don't think I'll realistically finish this sketchbook in March. However, you will still be getting a tour in April, so it just won't be the original date I had said in my March reset video. I am also extending my deadline for my self-assigned art project. I think instead of having an art project every quarter, I will make it every third of the year, so every 4 months approximately I'll have that time to do a project, and I will be more organized of dividing up the work so that I'm more efficient about getting certain pieces of it done or certain steps of it done. I will also not be continuing the fundamentals of drawing and perspective course for now. I'm gonna just put it on the back burner because I think I'd like to pick it back up at some point, but the lesson lesson I've learned is that I really can only handle one course at a time. So instead, I'll be spending my time catching up on the Introduction to Procreate course because I'm really enjoying it. And it's also a shorter course. I think we just had our 5th week, so I just have to catch up. And my next homework log will be all about that, as well as include a little review, my thoughts on the course itself and what I learned. I will not be following my social media plan for March because I already didn't last week, which was very upsetting to me, but I think it just needs to be tweaked a little bit where I can really just be in a routine that is sustainable for me. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, a lot of things on this channel and in general are going to probably be up in the air for me for a while. Things will be changed and moved around because I'm very much still in a learning process when it comes to how not to burn myself out. I'm so used to doing it, to overworking myself, that I think I just do it without even realizing. And I have so much going on that I forget sometimes about scheduling time to just relax. And not even just scheduling, but just like understanding that there are going to be times when I wake up in the morning and I'm not at 100%, not because I'm sick or because I didn't get enough sleep, but it's just that's the day I'm having. So, you know, obviously I have to bring 100% to my job, so I do, but beyond that, I might have to hold back a little bit. And there will be days when the exact opposite is true. There'll be times when I can give way more than I expected to art and you guys, but for now, I think I'm still trying to find that balance, and it's just not quite there yet. I feel I'm getting closer, but it's not it yet. And I'm just tired of having these really productive periods, and then all of a sudden my body just being like, yeah, you've been ignoring the whole rest bit for too long. We're gonna have to step in. So my body, my mind kind of just force it upon me that I have to stop, do some other things I enjoy, or even just spend some time resting. And if you guys can relate, definitely let me know down in the comments. I do want to make a video on this once I've kind of at least 90% figured it out for myself, because I know I'm not the only one out there that struggles with this, especially if you're an artist that is kind of type A like me. I'm sure some of you can relate. Now I want to talk a bit about what I was drawing, and I'm sorry guys if my voice is a little weird sounding. I've been fighting off a cold for a little bit. If you have siblings or children that go to daycare, you know, my half siblings get sick almost every month, and once in a while I end up getting it from them, which can't help it. They're kids, they don't generally know what they're doing. So I do apologize if my voice kind of sounds weird or different, or you know, isn't as, I guess, pleasing to the ear. I'm fighting off cold. But drawing wise, I really enjoyed, I think, how the flowers came out. Flowers have been a thing I've kind of stayed away from because to me they're just so complicated. Like there's so much going on with some of them, especially in a bouquet. Like if you have a bunch of different flowers overlapping and you don't know which which stem connects to which flower and all that. Like, to me, it's just overly daunting. And so when I saw these flowers, I was like, they're simple enough that I think I could draw them, especially with that technique that I learned from the fundamentals of drawing. And when I tell you guys, contour drawing in this way is so helpful, at least for me. I mean it. I think it does a very good job of helping you sort of space things out, figure out like in reference to like where is this item in reference to this item, especially if you have more than one thing you're drawing in one reference photo. And it's also helpful even with like portraits. I have yet to do a body because it's been so long since I've drawn a figure, like a full formed figure, but it works with faces. It helps you to kind of also simplify the shapes in what you're drawing, because I don't know if any of you are like me, but when I tend to draw something, I, especially in the past, think of what symbolically the thing is. So I'm not really drawing what I'm seeing, I'm drawing what I think it should be. So if I'm drawing a nose, I'm not really drawing the nose that I'm seeing, I'm drawing the nose in my head, that when you tell me, oh, what does a nose look like, that's what I'm picturing. Because sometimes you do have body parts that don't look right when you first start drawing them, or facial features that, why does that look that way, when your brain might even be like, what is this? Like, you didn't draw that correctly, kind of thing. And in actuality, you might, be close to what the reference photo is showing. So one of the things that I've gotten better with is definitely that. But I think this contour drawing technique has sort of pushed it even further, in the sense that I'm being forced to simplify objects and then slowly make them more detailed, because I think I rush to detail so quickly that it's good that this kind of slows me down. The only drawings on this page that I did not do that with were the eyes sketching that I was copying, and that was just because I just really wanted to draw those eyes because I thought they were beautifully stylized and I wanted to see if I could replicate them, just for my own learning and kind of trying to figure out what about them I like, that sort of thing. And here we are entering the third day. I'm going to be sketching only one drawing on the page this day, and it took me, I would say, at least an hour to do this drawing. It was of a girl, still kind of portrait, but a little bit, you see a little bit of her body. You also see I do a hand, kind of. So that was sort of challenging to me. When I first saw this reference photo, I just was really in love with the colors. I know I didn't translate the colors onto the page, but the colors, the composition, as well as how she was sort of dressed. She had really beautiful makeup on. She had some pretty features as well. So I just wanted to draw it and I wanted to see if I could do it. So I ended up doing it, and it wasn't perfect. You'll see me towards the end writing some little notes down for myself. I think it didn't help I was drawing at this angle because I was kind of far away from the page so that I wasn't in the way of the camera, but at the same time the paper was angled, so she was a little bit skewed, but I still think it came out better than I had initially expected, because I was a bit intimidated by the prospect of drawing her, and yet I still managed to. So kudos to me, I guess, for that. And I guess that's kind of your guys' sign to try drawing something maybe you're a little intimidated by, but you really want to draw. And, you know, then sitting back and looking at it and saying, okay, what about this works? What about this doesn't? And maybe making notes for yourself, because I sometimes, I mean, it hasn't happened that until recently, but recently I've been wanting to put more notes in my sketchbook, sort of my own critiques of my own drawings, so that I can kind of know, all right, what do I have to like really make sure I nail the next time I draw a person. For me, I tend to, for some reason, draw faces or heads that are not long enough for the face. I don't know if you guys have seen that trend in my drawings, but it's almost like I don't leave enough space for the features to fully fit on the face. So this can happen. You'll see this happen actually with the lips in this one. If you look at the reference photo, which I'm not going to put on the screen, but I'm going to have a link to in the description, her lips are fuller than this. And I could not do that because I had already, you know, not made the face long enough to fit her mouth, her nose, and give her a forehead. So another lesson I kind of learned is I shouldn't have gone into detail everywhere else and just mapped out the face first, even if it did look ugly initially, because, you know, you're just putting these boxy shapes on a person's face. It doesn't look right, doesn't look good, but every drawing has that ugly phase, and I think I have to get better with accepting that. So that's kind of what I struggled with this. I think I also wrote something else down, but I can't remember what it was off the top of my head. Something about, I think maybe her eyes? Let me see. I'm getting my sketchbook right next to me. Oh, I just said the face needed to be longer and the top lip had to be thicker. Another thing I did end up challenging myself with and have been challenging myself with recently is drawing open mouths, because to me, whenever I draw teeth, I just hate them. Even if they look very close to what's on my screen as far as the reference goes, I don't like how they look. I just think they're just weird. They make the person look unattractive. You know, it's just something about an open mouth with teeth showing doesn't appeal to me. And it's weird because if you take a photo or if I see other people's artwork with mouths open, I'm perfectly fine with it. It's just the way I guess I draw it. So I want to sort of challenge myself to draw that more, because I think something I could learn. And that's pretty much it with this drawing that I can at least talk to you guys about. I had a great time, you know, doing this for you guys. I actually kind of like it better than my sketchbook sessions, but I completely understand if you guys would prefer those once in a while too. I think in the future I would like to do a week in my digital sketchbook or a week in my digital and traditional sketchbooks to kind of switch it up a little bit in the same video, so you guys can tell me about that. Another thing that occurred to me is when I put out this poll, are they gonna think I'm gonna show them everything I drew in a week and like talk over it, or do you guys think I meant what I did here, which is basically you drawing along with me potentially while I'm in my sketchbook for a whole week? And I mean, obviously it's not real time, because if that were the case, we would be here for 3 hours. And I don't think any of you want to sit here and watch that for 3 hours or listen to me talk for 3 hours. I don't think I could speak that long, honestly. I was struggling to come up with some stuff to talk with you guys about, because I don't really know what you want to hear from me other than, you know, updates about what I'm doing. So that's all I really have to share with you guys. Again, if you like this video, it's very helpful to me if you let me know in some way, either by liking, commenting. If you do both, that's absolutely amazing. Thank you very much. And I always enjoy talking with you guys in the comments, even if it's just a simple, like, you guys saying that you like the video and then I'm just like, thank you for your comment. Like, it makes me feel like I'm not talking to no one, if that makes sense. I mean, I know the views can kind of suggest that, but it's, you know, it's nice to have a little back and forth with some of you guys, you know, talking about stuff. And that's it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed it. And let me know if you'd like to see more of these. Have a good week, guys. Bye.